Hi guys, welcome back to Rock Fabulous 40s, and today I am going to talk about a new primer from Smashbox. This is the Photo Finish Primerizer primer. This is the primer plus moisturizer, so it's supposed to be a combination of the two. I wanted to compare this to my all-time favorite, which is the Smashbox Photo Finish Hydrating, which you really can't get anymore because they quit making it. So I believe the replacement for this was this. So I'm going to compare the two because you guys know from watching me that this is my all-time favorite. So I want to know if this can live up to the standard that I have for this. So that's what I'm going to tell you guys today. I picked mine up from Sephora. I'm looking down at my phone here so I can tell you a little bit more about it. And it was $42 for 1 ounce of product. The skin types it says it's good for is normal, oily, combination, dry. Sounds great for me because you guys, I have got skin that is up into my, I want to say mid to upper 40s range, so I don't have that perfect, 20-year-old skin anymore. I have fine lines and wrinkles. I have combination dry is what I'm going to call it, or dry combination. So I've got dry patches and I have normal areas as well. So I'm dry and normal. So I want something that is hydrating. And primer is the first step to your foundation. So if you have an amazing primer, more than likely your foundation is going to look amazing too. If you have a crappy primer, more than likely your foundation is going to look crappy. So primer is a big deal to me. Anyways, going on. I know I was rambling. Anyway, so this says it's solutions for dryness, dullness, uneven texture, fine lines, and wrinkles. Again, something I need, right up my alley. What it is, a face primer and moisturizer in one that delivers 24-hour hydration and powerful primer benefits in the lightest possible texture. Oh, and it's also formulated without parabens and phthalates. Also, the third ingredient in this primer is dimethicone. So the first ingredient is water. The third ingredient is dimethicone, and dimethicone is a silicone. So with it being the third ingredient, it's going to be a pretty high concentrate of silicone, so I would actually consider this a silicone-based primer. Alright, so this is the bottle it comes in. It's a glass bottle. It has a pump. It's very nice packaging. I do appreciate that. I'm getting more into the primers that come in pump form instead of squeezy tube. So here's our pump here, and let's go ahead and just pump a little bit of it out. It is a very light texture. Do you guys see it running down my hand here? And the Smashbox Hydrating one, the blue one, is more of a gel texture. This is very lotiony, very light. When I rub it in, it feels very soft and smooth, and it does tend to turn into almost a gel-ish texture as you rub it in. Now, what I have noticed with this is as I rub it in, it takes it a minute, but then it sinks right into the skin. It's not one of these that sits on top of the skin. It sinks in, and it does really make a good base for your foundation to sit on top of. I don't find that it's pore minimizing or anything like that. I do use a pore minimizing primer on just this area, like right here where my pores really show up, but it does have a really nice texture. So far, that's a plus. Now let me squeeze out a little bit of this hydrating from Smashbox here, which you guys know I love. And this is going to be more of a gelish formula. It's a little bit thicker. You guys will notice it's not running down my hand. And when I rub it in, it is a gelish texture. But just like the primerizer, after it sits on the skin for a minute or two, it sinks right in. Again, it does not lay on top of the skin, which is one of the reasons why I love this so much. Alright, so back onto the primerizer. I have been wearing the primerizer a lot. I have worn it a lot since I bought it because I really wanted to give it a good testing. And I will tell you guys that I do like it. I really do like this primer. I feel that, like I said, it goes on very smoothly. It sinks into the skin. It gives my foundation a really good base to set to, I guess. But right after I apply my foundation, my skin does not feel amazingly hydrated at first. It kind of feels like just kind of normalish, I guess. When I use this, my skin would always feel amazingly hydrated. It didn't matter what foundation I put on top. I could use a very drying foundation and my skin still felt very hydrated. this at first, after applying foundation, doesn't really feel all that hydrating, but what I have noticed about this is the longer throughout the day I wear it, the more hydrated my skin starts to feel. My skin doesn't get oily wearing this, but I can tell that my skin is feeling very hydrated. And one of the other things I really like about this is if I choose that day to wear more of a heavier foundation, more of a full coverage foundation, which I'm not really big into full coverage anyway because it looks kind of splotchy and cakey on my skin, but if I choose to wear a thicker full coverage foundation on top of this, when I first apply that foundation it still looks a little cakey, kind of dryish, but as I go throughout the day, within about an hour or so, it starts to really settle in, and this primer underneath it I feel really makes it settle and look more, I guess, smooth, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Not so cakey. It's like the cakiness kind of settles in and it makes it meld with my skin more. I also do find that this also helps my foundation last. I don't have any issues with foundation creeping into fine lines and wrinkles with this, and I didn't with this either. But you know, there are some primers that I use that it doesn't matter if it's my favorite foundation in the world that I'm using, it's still going to creep into some of these lines and wrinkles, especially these number 11s and these, I don't know what these are called, these laugh lines or whatever. So this primer doesn't do that. I mean, I can wear my favorite foundations and they don't creep over. I don't feel like this slides around on my skin because I don't feel it sitting on top of the skin. So my overall opinion with the Primerizer is I feel that it is a very, very good primer. I feel that it does make my foundation last longer. I feel that throughout the day it makes my skin feel hydrated, and it does feel, it feels nice. Like if I touch my skin right now, it just feels nice. It doesn't feel dry or sticky or cakey or anything like that. It just feels really good. But I still like this better. I'm sad that they did away with this. Now, I have found something that's very similar to this, not quite as good, but very similar, which is the NYX Hydra Touch, this guy right here. This guy is very, very similar to the Smashbox Hydrating, and this is like this was $42, I think this is like $14. So it's a very, very good compromise for this, but in all reality, I do like this a little bit better than this. So I will continue to use this. I do love this, and when I run out of this, I've been using it very sparingly, I'm going to continue to use and repurchase this when I run out. So it is a really good primer, and I'm very, very happy with it. Alright guys, so I hope you guys found this video informative, and if you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Also guys, you can look me up on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Pinterest, all under RockFabulous40s. Also guys, if you want to be notified of videos that I have posted, go ahead and hit the bell down there as well. And there's also a subscribe button down there somewhere. Somewhere down there is a subscribe. Go ahead and hit it. And you too can rock your fabulous 40s. And I will see you guys next time. Bye guys.